Why does consumerism generate overwhelming discarded item waste? Imagine walking through a neighborhood in the 1960s. Everything looks fresh, new, and exciting. But behind that shiny surface, a big change was happening. Consumerism was taking off in a way that would change everyday life forever. This new focus on buying more and more was driven by advertising, economic growth, and the desire for convenience and status. People started to want the latest gadgets, fashionable clothes, and the newest appliances. This meant buying more than they needed and tossing out older items faster than ever before. Since the 1960s, the amount of waste from everyday items like paper, plastics, textiles, and metals has more than tripled in the United States. This is because people had more money to spend, the population was growing, and disposable products became common. For example, textile waste increased over 800% since 1960, mainly because of fast fashion. Clothes were made cheaply, worn fewer times, and thrown away quickly. Food waste also grew because people bought more food than they could eat and discarded leftovers or spoiled items. The 1960s counterculture, which often questioned mainstream consumer habits, pointed out how excess was hurting the environment. But at the same time, the dominant lifestyle still promoted convenience and mass production. Products were designed to become outdated quickly through planned obsolescence, encouraging consumers to replace rather than repair. This created a throwaway society where tossing out items became normal. Waste per person went from about 2.7 pounds daily in 1960 to nearly 5 pounds by the early 2000s. Suburban living, more cars, and more stores meant more packaging, electronics, and synthetic materials added to the waste stream. Some of these contain hazardous substances that can harm the environment. In practical terms, households often accumulate more goods than they need. They buy the latest trends, even if their current items still work. This cycle of buying and discarding puts a huge strain on waste management systems and leads to overflowing landfills and pollution. This shift from making things to last to quick consumption is a key reason why waste has become such a big problem. Looking back at the 1960s, it was a time of optimism about progress and prosperity. But that optimism masked the environmental costs of unchecked consumerism. The counterculture movements of that era started raising awareness about waste and environmental issues, planting the seeds for future activism. Today, understanding how consumerism fuels waste helps us see why reducing unnecessary consumption is so important for our planet.